Welcome, everyone, back to the Legends of the Mural podcast. My name is Mark Smith, and we call it the Off the Wall interviews for the podcast of the Legends Mural in Brownsville, Pennsylvania. Thank you for being here. My name is Mark Smith, once again, CEO of Mon Valley Academy for the Arts, and we are today in the Peter J. Daly Cultural Center in Brownsville, downtown Brownsville. Very happy to be here. Just to let you know, this is our 10th anniversary. 2015, we started November, and with the help of Pete Daly, our late friend, we incorporated into the nonprofit Mon Valley Academy for the Arts, and our mission is to support the arts, cultural arts. So that could be bands, musicians, lessons, dance, visual arts, anything that could be categorized as cultural arts. We take that on as a project. So today, though, this is our 4th episode, and we are talking about the Legends Mural. So for those who haven't seen this is a building that has a 60 by 40 mural dedicated to the Brownsville musical legends. We are honored to have one of the legends with us, Mr. Danny Leoni. Hi, Dan.
How you doing, Mark?
Thanks for flying in.
I flew in and bore my arms tight.
Bore your arms tight.
Right.
Put them on chain. I had to get that in. That's what Sam Bill would say, you know.
Right.
He would definitely do that. So before we start speaking, I'd like to list the names first off. First, we have Sam Bill, a gentleman that we probably know, Vincent Peter Coliuta.
Yeah,
do you know that guy?
Heard of him.
Yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah, Scott Elias.
Yeah.
I have a story about Scott that it related to a B3 in my chiropractor. Jeff Lashway, we just spoke with Jeff. Danny, of course. And then we have your famous brother, Jerry.
Jerry.
Right? Hi, Jerry. John Gresh, we have a great story about John. Cheryl Hardwick, which I understand was 25 years with Saturday Night Live, I believe. And she's now living in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So it
musical
shows...
director.
Yeah, musical director.
For Saturday Night Live. Yeah, that was... as a matter of fact, I mentioned that to... when you guys were talking about this, I mentioned that to...
I didn't know
that. About her and yeah.
All those years of watching Saturday Night Live, and here's the Brownsville connection.
Right.
That's great.
I get to find... There's a little story, too, about finding out that she was from Brownsville.
Oh, yeah. And then we have Van Ross Redding, who I guess was with the Commodores at one point.
He wrote?
Yeah, he wrote for the Commodores. So before we start, though, I have to read your bio, Danny. I think your wife wrote this.
I hope you got the good one.
Oh, I got the great one. Yeah. Danny Leoni, originally from Republic, Pennsylvania. Now, shouldn't that say Thompson 1 or Thompson 2?
We have Pittsburgh, Uniontown, Brownsville, Republic, Thompson 1.
Yeah, I get it. I didn't know that for years until Jerry told me. But you developed your musical skills in the Brownsville area high school stage band, toured New England with various bands before joining the Bill Moya Quartet.
Bill Moya, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm a friend with him on Facebook, and of course both you and Jerry played with him. Is that
yeah,
right?
We had a band. It was 2 drummers.
Oh, wow.
2 drummers. And, we came out, I came out from Maine with those guys, and we originally had a percussionist. And then when he left, we were in Reno, and so Jerry came in.
That's great.
And so we had two drums, guitar, and bass.
I remember that. It was a great combination. Yeah. Let's see. Accomplished musician, you've earned the Reno Area Music Award for Best Jazz Bassist in 1986.
Yeah, and it was more of a popularity. We had a real popular band and doing a lot of jazz stuff.
Well, you probably got paid $1 million for that, right?
Right. No.
Yeah.
They they had some players. Reno had great players, man.
Well, that's an honor. I think it is.
It is. It really is.
Taught music clinics at schools and universities, currently performing with the Petty Breakers. And we will talk about this. Probably one of the top Tom Petty tribute bands in the country. I've actually read that, Dan.
Well, we did that Access TV, the world's greatest tribute bands. We did that. On that. So.
That's great. And you teach at the Leoni Music Studios in Rosemont, California. Is that right? And that's with Barbara, your wife.
My wife, Barbara. Yeah.
Accomplished guitar player.
She does. She's she does pretty much.
And she's also
she's incredible. She plays,
wrote this, man. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. No.
So we give her the full credit.
Yeah, she plays everything and teaches vocal and guitar and piano.
Yeah, she's a great player. Yeah. So let me ask you, as we just go through here, Danny, you and I have known each other for too long time, and I want to ask you in this talk, do you remember the one job we played together? It was terrible. It was a terrible pickup job. You and I went down on Route 51
I remember that.
It was terrible. It is now a nail salon.
Oh,
so,
it was in this. Was it this little bar we played up on a big stage, up a little bit?
Yeah.
And who was leader? You were leader.
Hugh Garfola was the guitar player. No rehearsal. We just went and played. And it's probably why we never played again.
You know what? Every once in a while, I do remember that. And I remember the gig, and I'm trying to think who was on it, but it was you, but who the leader was.
The guitar player, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who the leader.
Hugh, yeah. And that's...
I remember that.
That's way
was
back.
Was that in Denora or Stowe?
No, this...
No,
I totally forget. I go past the place. It's in on the way to Century 3 Mall on 51. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, our great career starting right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you. Okay, we'll go back to and we've talked a couple times, and we have such common friends. I mean, the Mural here is only a speck of how many people really came out of this area. So when you first started, and we want to try to relate it to Sam, of course. Sam's the boss here.
Yeah.
And we know his son, Ralph. I mean, we all our age.
I played many gigs with Ralph.
Yeah, yeah, and that's really the follow-up through Sam. And we spoke with Patty already. Uh-huh. It was great. We spoke with Vinny. We talked to Annette Buffer. So you're number 4. So you're on the list. When you first started, though, you told me a little bit. You met a good friend of ours, Jerry Komposky, Co.
Yeah.
So how did that work? You were just a little guy. How old were you?
Well, Jerry was the first person I've ever met. You know, like I only knew cousins and relatives.
Well, you have a million cousins.
Yeah,
I know your family.
But you know, I mean, one day this kid is walking down the road, and we start talking, and then we became friends, and then Co was like the ace.
Yeah,
he was Fonzie, man.
Yeah,
and it was like whatever Co would do, everybody would. If he bought us some toy, we'd all get that. Yeah. Everybody wanted that toy. So he started playing. Yeah. So he.
How old were you?
Oh, I must have been 5.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've Co's passed away. I played with Co, bass player, great bass player. It was 25, 30 years that we worked together.
Yeah.
So, but I've heard the story. Actually, he said, "Yeah, I remember. I met Danny, a little guy, because you were younger than him."
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah.
And you're right. He was like Fonzie. He had a motorcycle, jacket, cool guy. Yeah.
And anything, and then he bought a guitar.
Then he bought a guitar. Yeah. So, how did you start playing bass? Did you start with the guitar, or how did that? Because we like to talk to the young folks. How do they get into doing what you do? Did you start with a guitar, or?
Well, he started playing guitar, so I wanted a guitar. I wanted a guitar, and I was taking piano lessons.
Oh, okay.
From Lou Benincasa, and but then so Co started playing guitar, and I wanted a guitar. My dad got me a guitar, and so we played, and then how'd it go? Co started playing. Co's dad played bass.
Oh, right.
Co's dad played bass.
I know where that bass guitar is, actually.
Do you?
The one with the funny nut on top?
Oh, that's at Ampeg. Oh, what a beautiful.
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
We might be. I should have brought a sleeping bag because we might be.
We'll talk forever. We're going to get that bass when we're done. Put it on eBay.
Yeah. No, but his dad played bass, and he started playing bass, and then I started, and then I came home. Jerry started. My brother, who's 4 years younger, had a band he was putting together with Paul Wyatt and his guitar player, and they needed a bass player, and that's how I started.
So Jerry started playing first, then he brought you in.
No, I was playing, but not in a band.
Yeah.
Jerry kind of had. We got together. As a matter of fact, and me, and I would play on piano, and Jerry would play on drums. That was kind of, we'd just get together
Yeah.
at my house and play a little
Yeah.
bit. And then, so, and then Jerry actually started playing with Paul Wyatt, and they had a real band, but they didn't have a bass player. And I just had a guitar at the time. And I came home one night and I was putting in hay. I was working at a farm putting in hay. I was all sweaty.
Real work, yeah.
You know, and I walk in and Jerry's there and he goes, "Dan, we need a bass player. You want to play?" I go, "Yeah,
Okay.
I'll play." I took the top 2 strings off my guitar and then played around.
Yeah, who needs them, right? Just take them up.
then I got a bass.
That's
and
great.
then started playing. Yeah.
And your mom and dad had to be real supportive.
Oh yeah,
right?
they
'Cause
were.
knowing your mom and dad, I mean, they were all about you guys in a band.
Yeah.
You know, and so proud that you guys have accomplished what you've done.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not in Brownsville now. You're in California. Yeah. That's great.
Well, my dad didn't. He always wanted me to get a real job, you know,
Yeah,
for
mine
a
too.
while, and then until like I guess when things around here, I left town, and then things like in the 70s and 80s people start losing a lot of jobs around here, and that's when I'm in Reno working, and
it's different how that was, especially for younger players now. We have probably 100, nearly 100 students here at the academy.
Wow.
You know, so we try to get these guys playing, put bands together like we've done.
Right.
I mean, I was 12 when I started. You were young. We all started young, and we're still doing it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of the connection to Sam. How do we carry this passion forward to be old guys who are finally playing? It's very difficult because schools are different, bands are different, everything's computerized now instead of actual playing.
Right.
So you were telling me a little bit too that what was the name of the first band you got to call?
Oh, that was so. After a while, we were playing a little bit, and then I got somebody said I played bass, and Chuck Suba calls me
Our
up.
friend Chuck. Hey Chuck, what's happening?
Chuck, yeah. So Chuck, it was like, and Ralph was in that band. We were in the Silver, and I knew the Silvertones because and all these guys are older than me, and it was like Chuck calls me up and he goes, "You want to play?" It was like my big break, you know.
Yeah.
It was to play with the Silvertones. Man, wow, wait, those guys play
Now,
every
that wasn't-
weekend. We're playing, these guys
And
got
that wasn't
gigs
on.
and-
That wasn't on one of these, right? No, that was on a regular phone. You probably hanging on the wall. Chuck answered.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It wasn't one. It wasn't one of those. And that's when then they're putting like charts in front of me. Now I knew a little bit of from taking piano lessons, but I didn't. But it was like. And that's kind of the way it's always been, like being a bass player. Nobody wanted to be a bass player, so I was always thrown into like situations.
Yeah.
I never played country before. Never played this before. Played jazz. So that's kind of the way it is. And the biggest thing was, you take piano lessons and you take lessons, but you don't really. That's cool when you start playing with different people, playing in a band and playing with different people. That's when the magic. That's when the magic starts.
I totally agree. I mean, it's important to read and practice and have the routine, but when you're on stage and they call "Release Me" in the key of C, you have to play.
And you're grooving, and especially bass player grooving with the drummer, man.
Yeah.
That's a feeling that
Yeah, there's nothing better.
There's
nothing better. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. So that was the Silvertones. And,
That was the Silvertones.
It was a polka band, basically?
It was a polka band. It was Bob Urbany, Jim Wardman, Ralph. Oh, my goodness.
Where'd you play at? Local?
We did local gigs. Yeah, weddings and weddings and picnics and
I always ask my drum students, I have a few drum students, I say, who do you listen to? Like, what drummer do you try to emulate or practice? And then I say to the parents, take your kids to a wedding. I forget that there's no bands in weddings now.
Anymore.
How many weddings have you played?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, me. Oh,
I've had so
okay.
much rigatoni and chicken, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
That's what you have, right?
Well, when I got married, we were out in California. I said I wanted to have the fire hall wedding. You know, I
Yeah.
wanted to have. So we came back here, and I
Did
had a
you?
polka band,
Oh, man.
and then we had we had this halupkis and
Yeah, you
the
got to have it.
rigatonis.
Danny, did you play at your own wedding?
Yeah,
Of course. That's great,
me
man.
and Barb both played.
That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
That's great. You know, you do the Pennsylvania polka or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Co-played. Yeah,
Did he?
yeah.
But that's so important for what we're trying to do here at the academy, because these people have missed that, you know, and going to hear a wedding band or a party band or picnics. How many picnics have we all played? And I know my first gig, I think it was a polka, filling in.
Yeah.
So that's a great way to start. But after that, okay, so as you go through, and I want to lead up to one time that I caught you guys, Scott Elias and I were playing at the William Penn Hotel. I was telling Jerry this. You were playing with Jimmy Britton and our good friend Jimmy, who's now with the Billy Price Band, and Jerry, and you had the band Red Wind.
Red Wind.
And you were playing some sort of an event, I don't know, a trio, and you guys were working quite a bit. That was before you left, right?
Was
that
actually, I had left. I went to Maine, and I was up there for like 7 years, and then I came back. For 2 years,
okay,
and then went back up.
Yeah, because we walked in, and Scott and I were just doing. We played with someone, I forget who it was. We were playing like socialite mumbo jumbo music, and we heard you guys. You were playing a Boss Skaggs tune. I definitely remember that, and you guys sounded great. I mean, and that little band worked quite a bit, I guess. Yeah. That's great.
That was a great little band.
And that's what we're trying to do with all these students, get them out working. Because like you said, you can learn, you can do all the book learning, you can practice, which is very important, but you need to get out and play with other people.
Right.
So at that point then, and I wanted to ask you, because I have a memory of you and Jerry leaving. You know, here I am in the Mon Valley. I've been trying to leave the Mon Valley for 100 years now, and I'm still here. But we were all very envious of you guys going. You went to Maine, came back. How did you get to Reno? That's where you first went. Was this a gig, or did you just up and go? What was your playing at that point?
Well, I was in college. I went to Salem, and I was in the stage band at Salem College.
Oh, okay. That's with Chuck?
That was with Chuck, yeah.
Mark Davis. Do you know Mark Davis, the drummer? He knows you. Okay.
I forget. You know what, man? I just so many.
I get it.
Can't, and I apologize to to Bill Cornish. He was in the I didn't mention his name for the Silvertones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, get him in there. So to go to Reno.
So I was in Maine, and then playing with Billy and playing with a couple bands up there, and I started playing jazz with Billy and Bill Moyo and Dominic Moyo. And Dominic just has a book. That's his brother. He was the head of the percussion department at ASU, at Arizona State.
Okay.
And so so he ended up going there, but. But he wrote a book with him and Steve Gadd have a book together.
Yeah, sure. Sure. So, that's pretty notable.
Yeah, so those two brothers came. We were up there playing, and their dad was in Reno, and he was the general manager of a place called the Gold Dust West, a casino.
Oh, okay.
A casino in Reno. So he had us come out west. So we all came out west as a band.
Well, that's great.
And we had a percussion player at the time.
Yeah.
And so, and then after he left Jerry came out there. But yeah, we went out there, and they put us up, and we would play after the main act in this cabaret room. Then we'd play late. We played stuff late.
I remember that happening, not all the details, because Jerry was playing with the local band Punch. If you remember that? That was a great band.
That was a great band.
And he was working at the drum shop, which is a little drum shop I had. And he was getting, I paid him $5 a day and all the coffee he could drink, which kept us going.
Yeah.
But he said, I'm moving to Reno. And I said, Reno where? Reno, I just didn't know.
Yeah.
And he went, you guys just left and went there. So there's always an opportunity to play. Yeah. I think that's important because you took the Brownsville whatever, your DNA from here, and you went to Reno. That's great. That's great. Hey, Danny, let me ask you. You mentioned something. How was the transition to play jazz? You said the band was playing jazz. What were you playing before that? Like standards or
polkas, and then into rock. Well, I always liked rock. I mean, that's why I really started playing.
Our generation,
playing rock, and then R&B. Of course, you can't. You know, around here, man, R&B.
You have to play it.
You got to play, and then that's cool. And then, God, how did I go into?
That's it.
And then I just met some guys up in when I met Don Moyo and Billy. They played jazz, and they had this little music. There was this New England School of Music up in Portland, Maine, and I went there and took some lessons from this jazz guy.
Oh.
Just like 3 guitar. He was a guitar player, but he was like he just showed me some stuff.
Yeah.
And so then I would and I can read like charts, it's like chord charts, and I can read stuff. And then pretty soon, there weren't too many everybody wanted to be a drummer, or everybody wanted to be a guitar player.
Yeah.
They were guitar players and drummers. They're the ones they got.
We get all the girls.
Singers. You guys get
It
so,
doesn't work.
But the bass player, So there was never too many bass players, so I would always just get in there and hang on for dear life. And when I went to Maine, I really started listening to a lot of jazz.
Listening, I think, is part of it.
That's soon as I started listening, and I'm hearing. I went through rock into the Yes, and then Yes turned into Frank Zappa and Mahavishnu New Orchestra, and then into.
It's a transition.
And then Chicory, and then and then from there it's
you listen to him like Stanley Clark. I mean, you're in. You're in.
Light as a feather, man. I would just
just
listen to that
over and over. Wear out the record. I asked that question because for the younger players, they're learning drummers, they're learning the rudiments, or they're learning scales, or however they're playing. How do you get into the piece of music that you like? And it is listening. My first experience actually was one of my first. Well, it was my drum teacher. You learn that da 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 da. You learn that.
Yeah.
That's what you learn. But my one first jazz experience was playing with Sam Bill, playing those old charts.
Yeah.
And I thought, he said to me, play a foxtrot. I thought, what is that, an animal? I don't know what that was. But when you have that experience and then hear it. So exposing these kids to different styles of music is real important, very important.
Right.
And because I think nowadays they get stuck into one genre, and I ask them about classic rock, or they say the oldies, and that's the songs we played.
Right.
But you have to listen to that. You have to expand and listen, I think.
Yeah. Sammy. I remember I saw the big band, and I honestly, really, I may have done a gig that I was probably so traumatized playing with him, just like a nervous wreck that I might have just totally blocked it. I probably messed up and blocked it out.
I
of my
did the
mind.
same thing. Yeah.
It's because he was the man.
Oh, he was. Sam. I know my experience with Sam was, I sat in for someone, I forget who it was. And I said, where's the music? I was younger. Where's the charts? What do I play? I was like the little kid with the little tie. And he said, there's no drum charts. And I thought, I'm done. I don't even know what to do. But you listen, you follow along. And he was such a great teacher and a great conductor.
Yeah. And that's the thing, too, when you start playing, you got to play with different people. And when you start playing with better players and then start going, wow, then that's when it really starts getting cool.
Yeah, I better go home, get my chops up, get better gear.
And you come back and you do,
That's exactly right. Let me ask you this. I don't want to neglect the off-the-wall people that we always talk about. I have a list. And now you've been out of town for a while. That's okay. We'll give that to you. I lost my list. It's so long. Some of the players that should be on this wall, we talked about Al Pasquale. Maybe we'll use the back wall of our building. Jerry Komposky, Kenny Mills. Kenny Mills, wonderful guitar player.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He's now living in Republic, I believe.
Yeah.
So how about the old guys from way back?
Chuck Suba. There's
Chuck got to be on there. and it's probably more before our generation, Bobby Manier and the big band guys from way back.
Yeah.
And we would probably have enough people to go around the building. Because what was in the water here?
Yeah, I don't know.
Vince asked me that. He said, somebody asked him one time, what's in the water in town there?
Right.
It was just that intensity of playing, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it might be the same thing like why so many quarterbacks come, famous quarterbacks come from this area. Maybe it's just an opportunity just to get out of here or something. I don't know what it
I think we're better people.
You know. It's a nice place. It's the greatest place.
It's a great family area.
It is, man. I love coming. I think about coming back here all the time, you know, and I have been. You know.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you come back. You know, we've been back for certain reasons, but you know, and we all have to get together and play someday. Yeah. You know, cut this talking out and let's just play. See if we remember how.
Yeah.
So let me ask you about that. All right. So you said you got a story, a John Gresh story. So John Gresh is on the wall, and I've just met John, and we were talking. He'll be interviewed as soon as we can. You went to school with John?
I don't really have a story. I didn't even know. The story is
that's the part.
We were friends in high school, and really good friends, and had no idea that he played anything. And then I left, and next thing I know, I hadn't heard the name John Gresh for years, and then all of a sudden they're saying he's
on the wall,
on the wall, and he plays piano. I didn't have any idea.
That's so great how that it's like the Kevin Bacon thing. We're all kind of related somehow, you know. And now I'm not from Brownsville, right? I'm a Charleroi guy, and but knowing all of you guys and just the interaction, like Jeff Lashway and and everybody. I mean, monster players first off, and I have to give credit to Sam. Sam might not have played with everybody, but he had such an impact around here. Right. And that's also why his face is the biggest out there.
And as it should.
As it should be. And it was such a great time talking to Patty, reminiscing. Right. And also I got many stories about Ralph. We had a great time with Ralph, and he's passed on, but his legacy, he should be on the wall too. Somewhere up there.
Yeah, Ralph should definitely be on.
Yeah, great guy. So what are you doing now? So let's go to the future as we get older. And can you believe we all have been playing music 50 years? Yeah. I mean, we're to that point where we're the old guys that used to be. Yeah. I used to think people our age would they're over the hill, but they shared the same thing we did.
Yeah. Well, before we moved, there's Bob Urbany who was with the Silvertones. Do you know Bob? Yeah, I don't know if you know Bob, the sax player, and he's doing music and still playing. He's in Indiana. I ran into him. We were playing in Indiana.
Really?
And he came to the show. Yeah, and So there's. I'm probably forgetting some other guys.
Oh, there's so many people.
There's just so many people. But I'm sorry.
No, that's great. That's great. Because so let me ask you this: you're with the Petty Breakers. When you're on the road, do you run into any Brownsville, Mon Valley people? Like Bob, did he just come up to you and say, "Hey, by the way, I live here"? Or did you run into people out on the road like that?
Yeah, I ran into a few people. As a matter of fact. As a funny thing, I'm playing in Reno, and we're playing in the lounge in Reno, playing jazz, and someone said, "Hey man, there's a band. I think they're from Pittsburgh." Yeah. And they're playing in the showroom over here, So we take a break, and so I take a break and go over there, and those guys were on break and they're coming down. I said, "Excuse me, man." I go, "You guys are from Pittsburgh, I said, "I'm from Pittsburgh." I said, "Yeah," and Jerry was big around here because I left,
Yeah.
So everybody knew. So
everybody knows Jerry.
I said, "Well," I said, "My name's Danny Leoni." I said, "Jerry Leoni's my brother." And all of a sudden, like 3 guys from that band goes, "Jerry Leoni."
Oh, we have to give him a commission.
Like, Jerry Leoni, you're his brother, man. It was like, yeah, but. And then another thing from that gig, when I went to Salem College, the bass player left and that's one of the reasons I kind of wanted to go there, because Chuck thought maybe I could go, because they had Guy Ramonko was.
Oh yeah.
He was the stage band director.
As a note, one of the last drummers at the Twin Coaches.
Really?
Guy was one of the last drummers up there, yeah, because we're documenting that about the Twin Coaches and the orchestra there.
He passed away recently.
Yeah, his name keeps coming up and up as one of the last stage orchestra drummers there.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, and so I was in that band, but Lonnie Bedford. Everybody's talked about the bass player that left, Lonnie Bedford. That's all I heard. Lonnie Bedford. So anyway. He's gone. He left, and so I'm playing in the stage band. Anyway, now I'm playing in Reno. I'm playing in this lounge, and there's another band comes into town, and you know, bands, they always go to see other bands, especially playing in the same hotel.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and then so Billy Moyo introduces the band. He goes, Danny Leoni from Pittsburgh, you know, and the guy goes, he says Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He goes, how did the guy goes, I'm from that area, and he goes, well, and I go, where are you from? And he goes, I'm from Masontown. And it was Lonnie Bedford.
Oh, man.
I met him. I never met him, heard all about him. And then in Reno, I'm playing, and he's sitting there right in front of me.
And he's from Masontown originally.
He's from like Masontown or that area down
Which
there.
is directly, 5 miles from you? Yeah.
Yeah, that was a coincidence.
Small world.
Yeah, that was a real small world.
That's great. Well, you probably shared some stories about school, right?
Yeah.
So I asked Vince this, or Mr. Coliuta, were you ever on stage and then see somebody in the audience that like a Stanley Clark or a Jocko? Did you ever have that happen where you're up there playing and then you see in the crowd somebody that you're a little worried about? Did ever have that happen? I mean, I've had that happen many times. Vince was mine.
Yeah. I come to Reno. We get this job at another casino downtown Reno, and so we're playing there. And downtown Reno, I mean, everybody used to play Harris and all these. Mm-hmm. So bands would always be coming in town. So I think Paul Anka was in town. Was it Paul Anka? And Jim Fielder was the bass player. And if you know, Jim Fielder was the bass player for Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Oh, okay. Now I know. Yes.
So now we're playing. So we're playing this jazz thing over top of a bar. And all of a sudden, Jim Fielder comes, and he's sitting at the bar, like right in front of me.
Did you recognize him?
Oh, I recognized him. Yeah, you know, because they were in town. I think I have a few Blood, Sweat, and Tears stories. But anyway, yeah, Jim Fielder's there, and I just it was like Do you immediately
start thinking about what you're playing?
Oh, I just start thinking about every note. It's like, what did I do? Oh, yeah. It turns into you're not playing anymore. It turns into just try to hit the right notes.
Yeah.
And so what I did, that really kind of threw me off. Real nice. He was a real nice guy. But I remember later on, we played with Robin Ford, and he came into town to do a clinic. So he did his clinic, and then we would play after with him.
Yeah.
And
you got to play with him.
Yeah, I got to play with him. Yeah. And so that night he came down to the club where we were playing, and so now Robin Ford is sitting there.
Yeah, that's pretty intimidating.
And so after that, what I went through with Jim Fielder, I said no. I called. It was a Leoni Heck group. I think it was Leoni Heck group. Anyway, I said, Bill Heck, my keyboard. I said, we did Round Town, Yellow Jacket. It was a Yellow Jackets tune.
Okay.
Did he play? It was the hardest tune we did.
Of course.
I called it. I said, screw it. I said, I screwed up with the Jim Fielder
We're
thing.
Jumping in.
I
Yeah.
said, I'm just going to go in. Yeah,
that's great.
FIFA. So we did one of his tunes from.
That's great, because that's a big part of playing. Yeah. You're confident enough to get through the tune,
right.
But then you're seeing one of your idols in front of you. I want to tell you my story real quick, because it's your brother, Jerry Leoni. Thank you, Jerry. we were playing somewhere. It was the Boardwalk in Pittsburgh. We did he was with Leon Cook, and I was with another band. Of course, we played our little thing, and I'm in the kitchen waiting, and I knew Jerry. Of course, we were buddies forever. He gets on stage and just blows it out, and I'm thinking, I'm not following Jerry. And I had to go back up after Jerry Leoni. So that's a big part of it. But that's that confidence and just knowing your tunes and
Right, yeah.
and getting through the gig. That's
Yeah.
all. That's great. Those are good stories, though. And we could go on forever about that intimidation feeling.
Oh, God.
Of course,
yeah,
mine
yeah.
is that Mr. Caliuta guy. But
Yeah.
it was great. What a great area and great stories. And that's what we want to try to do with this, is bring these stories in so you folks, you younger players especially, can see that there is a future in music. If you can look at us two old guys up here, right? And, we're both going on about 29 years right now.
Yeah, if you, yeah.
I'm turning 30 next year. Yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
Dan,
if you want stories, man, I mean, I got a story for every song.
that's great. That's bada boom shake. That's perfect.
Really, and then,
Hey, Dan, we appreciate it. And our producer, CJ, is behind the camera saying, look, let's wrap this up. Okay. Thank you, CJ. But we want to, a question I had. When you go out with the Petty Breakers, okay, and we want to try to coordinate that so you guys come back in town. I mean, I heard the band when you played up at Pitt University.
Yeah.
Great. I thought I was listening to a record, and that's what you want to do with a tribute band. Am I right?
Right.
And one of our board members, Jerry Onesi, was selling your swag.
Yeah.
He had that tent. It was great. He was a great salesman. Is that normal for your band? I see a lot of bands that will do that. They'll have like a little, T-shirts, candy bars. I don't know. Does that work for you for
We did it for a while. We did, we had hats for a little while, and then we had T-shirts for a little while, and then sometimes it's a whole. You got to bring all the stuff.
Yeah.
And pretty soon, and it's so what we do is we kind of. I think online you could get some of the stuff online. He'll mention, we'll send, we've got T-shirts online.
I know we have Billy Price is coming in. Jimmy Britton's our friend keyboard player. And when I talk to him, Billy always says, is there a table for the swag or the CDs?
Right,
and it's great. I have more Billy Price T-shirts than I need, because I'm the victim. I buy it all. But that much saying, I want to give you one of yours. Here's our Legends T-shirts, and there's your little peanut head right there. So there you go, Dan.
Me?
That's you on a T-shirt.
Oh man!
And we want to make a note for those out there that want to support
wow, that's great.
There's Legends.
Sam, here's everybody.
All the guys are there.
Yeah, I love that. This thing is great.
It's a little smaller. It's not 60 feet by 40, but it's
yeah.
It is what it is.
Well, I might need the 60 by 40 to fit
Yeah,
me.
me too. Extra large. But we want to thank everyone out there. And Danny, thank you. If you need any information, follow us, Mon Valley Academy for the Arts, Facebook, website. Watch for the podcast coming out. And also for any gear that you're looking at, our producer will put up the link for the T-shirts. All the proceeds go back to the products or the projects of the Mon Valley Academy for the Arts. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. Mark.
Let's do it again.
Man, you're doing a great thing.
You are. Thank you.